Hey everybody, Jake here, and today we're taking a look at another ink. I just wanted to note real quick, I apologize for being off schedule last week. There was a massive family emergency. I tried to keep some videos that I had backlogged uploaded for you guys. So thank you for just bearing with me, and we'll get back to a normal scheduling, with pins on the weekend and inks on Wednesdays and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Today it's going to be Diamine Autumn Oak. This is a very, very shade-heavy ink from Diamine, which is somewhat reminiscent of Noodler's Apache Sunset. I do like this one better, though, because this is more orange-leaning, whereas the Noodler's Apache Sunset is a lot more yellow, at least in my experience. I should have a review coming up of it once I decide I hate myself enough to ink another pinup with it. But this is standard Diamine bottling. This is a 30 milliliter bottle. Here's an example of their 50 milliliter bottle. These are a whole lot nicer, in my opinion, but I just got this in a 30. So square, fairly tall bottle, should be easy to ink from, except for the neck on this is very, very, very shallow, or narrow rather. Just a quick comparison to the normal Diamine. You can see there it's a pretty noticeable difference. So these are not fun to ink from, and it was definitely not fun to do the swatch from, because I dipped them just to get the most accurate color. And here is that ink swatch. So this is again Diamine Autumn Oak, and you can see that it's has a pretty good amount of shading when you're writing, and especially the example here goes from yellow all the way up to an orangish brown. Very, very interesting selection of colors in this ink. But the bottle's okay. These 30 milliliter bottles are about $7.50. The 50 milliliter bottles are about $15. I thought they were cheaper than that. I don't know if they had a price hike or if I just wasn't paying attention or what. But yeah, I would go 50 milliliter if you like this color on any of the Diamine, really. These inks are fantastic. Let's go ahead and get into writing sample though. So as always, we have the Rhodia lined pad and the Lamy 2000. This is a fairly wet ink, as all Diamine are. I misspelled that, but I'm going to fix it and you won't even notice. And again, it's very shade heavy. One thing I have noticed is this ink darkens up considerably as it dries. So that's one thing just to take note of. And I'll kind of give you a bit of an example here with that. So you can kind of watch those as they dry over time. It is, again, a fairly wet ink. It's very, very shade heavy. I like it quite a bit. I really like shading inks. And because it's Diamine, it's, again, fairly wet. So the dry times on these are not going to be great, depending on what paper you have. If you have very absorbent paper, it'll dry a little faster, but it may feather or something like that. If you have really good paper, like Rhodia, or especially Tomoe River, which takes forever with any ink, Diamine are going to take a really long time to dry. So we'll give that a minute. I'm really impressed with this ink, though. This is everything that I wanted Apache Sunset to be, and it just wasn't. You can see up there, even that was still wet. So yeah, this is a super, super wet ink. It will take a long time to dry. And here's a bit of a close-up so you can really see and appreciate some of the shading there. Really impressive ink. I really, really like it a lot. If you're torn between this and Apache Sunset, I would pick it based off of whether or not you prefer yellow or if you prefer orange. I vastly prefer orange. I love orange. But that's just me. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to check out my other ink videos and pen reviews. And I do have a pen review, of course, coming up this weekend. It is a very, very special pen. So keep your eyes out for that. Thanks, guys. Bye.